We're officially in the nation of Pyro, and this region is pretty nice. I mean, it's refreshing to see so many cool new mechanics embedded into the game, but wow did this Archon quest give us some pretty good lore. So, here's Natlans story quest in... So, without further ado, let's break a shin and crawl right into the video. The quest starts off with the traveler leaving Fontaine as Charlotte, Farina, Navia, and Chlorian say their goodbyes, which was honestly so nice, as Mero, we only said bye to Dia. We embark on our journey and arrive in Natlan, and upon arrival we are teleported into this strange place in the woods where we meet Saurians, who are similar to Bishops in appearance. We then help an injured Saurian, and then we turn into one. We then also befriend a tiny little Saurian, which I named Cupcake, who, by the way, has a Flame Lord's blessing and makes him special. Isn't he so cute? We then return to where we originally were and go on to meeting Kachina, where she takes us to her tribe, the Children of the Echoes. And there are quite a few tribes, so I'm gonna try my best to pronounce them. We have Children of the Echoes, Silence of the Canopy, People of the Springs, the Flower Feather Clan, Masters of the Nightwind, and Collective of Plenty. We get some information on the tribe, as the tribes have a stone called the Wyab, which is said to be their mental encouragement, but it goes deeper than that as we learn later on in the Archon quest. But do keep in mind that the Wyabs give ancient names. Kachina then takes us to the stadium where she will compete. During our journey there, we go up to the Statue of Seven and we discover that the traveler doesn't have the pyro resonance with the Statue of the Seven, suggesting something is wrong. Which is honestly so sad, but hey, at least we get to see the traveler using all his powers, for once. After that, we head over to the Stadium of the Sacred Flame, which was an incredibly long walk. Kinda regret not getting Walani, but hey, at least we have creatures to make it a bit faster. We then stop for another talk, and Kachina tells us that the Archon in Natlan is human, and she claimed the title by achieving victory and being victorious. And can I just say, I love Kachina's facial expressions throughout the entire Archon quest. It's just nice to touch. Anyways, we arrive at the stadium where Kachina will compete in the Pilgrimage, a tournament to see who's the strongest. Anyways, there we meet Kinich and Aja, and Kinich puts Aja into timeout. After that, Moalani shows up and the trio is all here. The trio shares information like Natlan is at war with Abyss, which is called the Night Warden Wars, possibly what Raiden was talking about. The stadium is known to hold a pilgrimage, so the pilgrimage chooses the strongest contenders to fight in the Night Warden War, and the Night Warden War is a battle between the Abyss. We also learn what the Ode of Resurrection means, as it is the Archon's blessing that allows the people of Natlan to continue fighting against the Abyss during the Night Warden War, if they happen to lose. But the Ode of Resurrection only works with people who bear the ancient name. We also hear some news about the Sacred Flame. The Sacred Flame is a flame that keeps the Abyss safe from invading, which the pilgrimage helps to keep the flame going. The fire is fueled by wins and losses. After this explanation is over, we have dinner with Kinich, Moalani, Kachina, and then sleep. We wake up and enter the stadium to watch the pilgrimage, and the Pyro Archon makes a reveal. We also see Janssen and Chaska. We watch the tournament unfold, and the fights were honestly fun and refreshing, especially seeing NPCs do such cool things. Anyways, the final round is Moalani vs Kachina to see who will go to the Night Warden War. And the winners are declared to be Chaska, Janssen, Kayulani, Kibangu, and Kachina. After the battle, Moalani invites us to her tribe, which is another really long walk. We arrive at the tribe where we meet an NPC with not only short hair, but a visible vision, and to top things off, the traveler and Paimon change outfits. My, how far Genshin has come. Moalani introduces us to the chief of the tribe, Atea, and we hear about her backstory, which, long story short, she is now affected by the abyssal corrosion. It gets late, and as we're about to sleep, the Abyss attacks the tribe. We learn that the Abyss is being able to attack from the Abyssal Pylon, which is a gate that allows monsters from the Night Kingdom to pass into the real world, and once it's destroyed, monsters can no longer attack that area, so we go around taking care of them. And we find the chief heavily injured with abyssal corruption flowing off her. We then get flashbacks to Mondstadt of when we purified the crystal, and learn that the traveler can fully cleanse abyssal powers from people. The traveler saves Atea from death, but not for long, as we learn that Atea's injuries from the Abyss is too severe, as the abyssal power has corroded her body beyond repair, leading to her future death. And thus ending part 1. Part 2 starts, and we learn that the Night War has been finished, but Kachina didn't make it back. And we also learn more about the Abyss, as their goal is to read the memories of the land. We then head off to greet the heroes of the Night Kingdom War that made it back, and they sing a really nice song that I love. And Genshin never fails to impress by the music, by the way. But the Archon reveals she was unable to find Kachina in the Ode of Resurrection, implying something is wrong. And then these two freaks decide to smack on Kachina because they're sore losers, starting a commotion among the people, asking if Kachina really was worthy of being a champion, to which the Archon silences them and asks if anyone has any questions, to which Milani speaks out, wanting to know everything she can to find her friend, to which the Archon invites her to investigate. And during this, the Archon also takes notice of the Traveler and wishes to speak with him. The Archon explains that there is an issue with the Night Kingdom, meaning Kachina won't be able to return until it is resolved. Since the Abyss is now finding ways to breach into Natlan and are trying to put out the flame, we learn that Abyss is holding Kachina hostage essentially. And we learn staying in the Night Kingdom can have a great danger on your mental strength as it eats away, similar to the Natlans. Chaska, Jansen, Molani, Kinich, the Archon, and the Traveler come up with a plan to save Kachina and stop further damage from the Abyss. The plan they have is to find Kachina's ancient name to bring her back. After everyone leaves, Jansen and Kinich stay behind, as the Archon explains the massive shortage of pyro energy as the Abyss is destroying it. The sacred flame is gradually going out. The Archon will use her powers to keep the flame going, but this is intercepted as Capitano makes his arrival. And he wants to forge a new path for Natlan, and wants to get rid of the old. So, Capitano and Movica fight it out, and they essentially draw. Mohica then puts her powers into the flame, rendering her powerless. We return to the group who set off to save Kachina as a man by the name of Kama agrees to help us locate the ancient name, and asks a favor in return to help find his friend Malko in the Night Kingdom. We begin the process to find Kachina's ancient name as we use a mechanism called the Spirit Speaker Stone, created by Granny Citali, similar to an Abyss Pylon to locate it. So we assist him so he doesn't get corroded by the Abyssal power in a game of button mashing, my favorite. But the power of the Abyss was overtaking Vikama and then Chaska destroys it. Vikama sees memories of his friend and gets his goodbye. Chaska's younger sister arrives and we learn that Chaska was almost consumed by the Abyss as a kid but fought back and was adopted into a family. Chaska and her younger sister Koichi argue about her safety as she goes into the Night Kingdom. Afterwards, we meet up with the Pyro Archon, Jansen, and she tells us about the fight against Capitano and her using her power to keep the flame going. We then talk with Archon, then Paimon roasts the Archon. The Archon then finds Kachina, and Kachina explains that the wild is being affected by the Abyss. We then lose contact with her as we prepare to go to the Night Kingdom as Jansen tags along with us. We go underneath Natlan and discover it was home to a few dragon Sarvanians. We traverse to the cave, fighting a bunch of monsters, and arrive at the opening to the Night Kingdom. In the kingdom, we discover Malko's spirit, who offers to help us. And I learned that the monsters down there are not friendly. We finally find Kachina, and we discover that the Wyob's power is helping Kachina stay hidden and away from the evil spirits. The Wyob is being contaminated, which is messing with the Ode. We then make our way to the Wyob where we are intercepted by an Abyss Lector who just killed Malko's spirit for good. The Abyss Lector yaps to us and says that the Pyro Archon is selfish and is keeping the primordial gift to herself, which may come up later in the Archon quest. Kachina and Mualani use the power of friendship to defeat him. Mualani's ancient name glows and Tupac arrives, also known as the giant who saved all of Natlan. The giant explains when they unite their power they can defeat even the strongest. From this, Mualani gets a Night's Soul blessing and gets Tupac's memories. They unite their powers to save the Wyob. They speak with the Wyob as it gives Kachina inspiration, but they overstay their time there as they have to rush out the Abyss. But they fail. Until the Pyro Archon crashes down and saves her with her consciousness alone. We arrive back, and the Archon explains Natlan will be destroyed in less than a year. This was set in motion by the Abyss 500 years ago. Natlan had never had deep-rooted ley lines, meaning the destruction caused by the Abyss would be 2 times greater. Natlan never had deep-rooted ley lines, meaning the destruction caused by the Abyss was 2 times greater. So, 500 years ago, the Archon came up with a plan with the heroes of each tribe to save Natlan. We find out Mohica has been alive for 500 years and aligned her life with the Sacred Flame, so she had died before and is now in a second life, thanks to the flame. Each tribe has a chosen hero who will play a part in saving Natlan. Currently, Mualani, Shailonin, Kinich, Jansen have all been chosen, leaving 2 yet to be chosen. We all leave the room after the plan was explained. Mohica goes into her conscience and meets with her friends from each tribe, including her family, as they give her motivation to keep forging the path to tomorrow. After this is all over, we would go to the hero's banquet, the one we were supposed to have if Kachina hadn't disappeared. We then talk to Mohica as she explains why she didn't ask the heroes of the past 500 years ago to join her. She explains that she didn't want to share the burden as they would be leaving their lives behind, like how she left hers behind. Mohica asks the Traveler for help in upcoming battles, in which the Traveler accepts and wants to help people. And that's the end of the Archon quest. Oh, apparently not. Capitano is shown recovering, and we learn more about him and how respectable he is as he doesn't want to take advantage of the Pyro Archon's weakness. We learn that Capitano was pulled away from the fight by a mysterious figure, and we can guess who that might be. If I misspoke on anything or left any important information out, please do comment. Thank you for watching and make sure to subscribe.